MMAOddsBreaker. This week we got Kurt Holobaugh getting ready to fight Des Green coming up on Titan Fighting Championships 33. I made a mistake and said it was home for him, but it's Alabama. He's from Louisiana. So I apologize, Kurt, about thinking you're from Alabama when you're from Louisiana. That's a cardinal sin, screwing that one up. You don't want to do that one. How's training camp been so far?
Oh man, it's awesome. I've been training for this fight ever since heard about Titan coming to Mobile, Alabama. I wanted to be on that card. Didn't really know who I was going to fight at that time, but ever since I was able to get back in the gym after the injury and been training, going.
How's it been since the injury? How have you healed up?
I think I healed up good. I haven't had any problems with it. It's it feels just the same as it did. Hopefully better though.
Yeah, that's the hope. How much actual rehab did you do? Were you just went to a rehab session to heal up the injury as opposed to, I'm rehabbing by sparring or rehabbing by rolling?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a lot. I barely really did too much rehab, so I stayed in the gym a lot and pretty much rehabbed a lot in the gym.
Okay, all right, good. What's different for this training camp than your previous ones? Have you done anything different? Strength and conditioning different? Spending more time on boxing versus grappling or anything like that?
Well, being the Dez as a wrestler, and I pretty much I know where this fight's gonna go. I've been working a lot of wrestling, and just same as all the rest. Just been putting a lot more time in. Like I said, I've been training probably a month ago for this fight. So this is the first time in a long time that I've really started actually training for a fight so far out. So at the right now, I feel like I can step in the ring and go 5 rounds. Okay. So and I still got 6 weeks to prepare. So I'm feeling ready.
How's your weight right now?
It's not that bad. I'm a little on the heavy side. I think I got up to in that 180s.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch injured, but I'm floating around probably around 170, 175 right now.
6 weeks out, 170, 175. That's not too bad. It's not a great number to be at. Obviously you want to be as close as possible to your weight, but you have more than enough time to get your weight down. And you can do it slow. Are you one of those guys that likes to keep your weight as close as possible to your fighting weight, or are you a guy that likes to blow up and try and dehydrate that weight down?
I used to be like that. I used to try to get as light as I could before the fight, but really, I just focus a lot in my diet and put a lot of concentration in that and try not to eat so bad. Clean up all the bad eating, and I'll really start to drop a lot of weight. And normally I'll be probably 15 pounds over whenever I arrive before the fight, and normally 15 pounds for a week isn't that much to cut to me.
Yeah, everyone's a little bit different. Depends on your size, and we all know. You talk about GSP when in his heyday, he'd show up, 8 pounds over. He'd start training camp at 85 and be down to 178, and then that's just what he did. And of course, he won as many fights as he did. And there's other guys that go way bigger and have won just as many fights, just as many championships. So everyone's different. Everyone has their own little way of doing it. But when you say clean up your diet, how do you mean clean up your diet?
Definitely no fast food. It's probably been a month before I've eaten any kind of fast food,
Oh,
wow. And definitely still try to stay away from the home-cooked meals. They're delicious, but, you got to cut that stuff out and really start eating clean. Really watch how many calories you take in a day. Just a simple diet I normally stick to.
And for the folks at home, when Kurt talks about staying away from home-cooked meals, and a lot of the fighters I talk to, they're only eating home-cooked meals. That's all they're having. But Kurt's in the South, and home-cooked meals in the South is a whole different mentality. When I spent some time down in Louisiana, down in New Orleans, and I worked out twice a day, every day, and put on 10 pounds while I was down there because I refused to go out to eat because the food at home was so good. Why would I go out to eat? It was outstanding, and I just kept getting heavier and heavier. So you can't go home and have a home-cooked meal. You've got to kind of clean. Are you buying prepackaged, from a dietitian meal? Are you sticking only to the Foreman grill and having dry chicken breasts and dry salmon patties, or how are you doing it?
Yes, a lot of the Foreman grill. You know, like for example, last night I steamed a whole bunch of vegetables and just did some grilled chicken on the Foreman. You know, if I go home to my mom's house, then she's got fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
Yeah.
You know, all the stuff I don't want, but I can't eat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's the tough part about having a parent knows how to cook Southern, because man, will the food is so good. That's why Daniel Cormier has such a hard time making weight, getting out at 205, because he still wants to eat Southern style. You know, they're making fun of him, you know, about Popeye's chicken and eating cake and all that's all over the internet right now. My buddy Adam Hunter wrote that one and blew it up. But yeah, it's tough for Southerners to, you know, try to get their diet cleaned up. Much different than someone from the West Coast, you know, living in Oregon, Washington, or California, because your food upbringing is different in those states. Did you have to educate yourself on how to eat right? You know, because thinking you're eating right because that's what your parents cooked, that must be the right way to eat. But then all of a sudden now you're an athlete. Was there a long education to figure out what you really could eat and couldn't eat?
Not really. You know, I got a lot of sponsorships from like nutrition stores like Pro Tubs, NutriShop, and you know I've been with them for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been with them for a while, so you know they kind of steer me in the right direction. I've learned a lot about nutrition just by being sponsored by guys like that. And, you know, they really help me out and point me to the right direction of things I need to eat, things I don't need to eat, supplements I need to take, that I don't take, so.
All right, last topic before I let you out of here, Kurt. I really appreciate taking some time to spend it with us here on MMAOddsBreaker. We all know Desmond Green's a wrestler. We all know he's going to grind you out. You said it earlier in this interview. We all know you know where the fight's going. We know where the fight's going. At some point, it's going to be a grappling, pushing, shoving, taking you down at some point kind of a matchup. The assumption is you're going to fight to get yourself back up to your feet, and you've been working on your wrestling. What else is Desmond going to do besides try to wrestle you? We all know that's what he does. If you watch any tape on Desmond, that's what he does is wrestle. But what else does he try to do in a fight besides just wrestle you?
You know, he's probably going to try to eat a few punches to get into me close and just try to maybe hold me against the cage. You know, even if he doesn't take me down, that's where he wants to be. He wants to be as close to me as possible. You know, giving me a lot of space and letting me roam free around the cage is not going to be the best idea for him.
Now, knowing his game plan, like you pretty much can figure out his game plan by watching his tape. Have you had to adjust your style at all, knowing for sure that he's going to attack? Have you worked on backing up some more, or throwing a lot more inside punches, doing a lot of dirty boxing to kind of work that space back into your favor again?
Yeah, you know, I always work a lot of dirty boxing because, you know, you see a lot of fights, you know, they're always clinching up against the fence, and then you got to use some dirty boxing. So I'm always working that. My style versus Desmond Green's style is going to be pretty good.
It's going to be an amazing fight. Super athletic. This is going to be a great fight, one for the ages and well worthy of being a title fight. This is an incredible fight that the Titans put together. So I can't wait to watch this thing happen. It's going to be a great fight. You know, thank Kurt for coming out here. I really appreciate it. Good luck, man. Let's talk again real soon.
Yeah, man. Thank you.